Hello there, everybody, and a happy Monday to you. I hope that you all had a good weekend and have had time to rest. I want to start this off by encouraging everybody to get as much rest as they can whenever they can. It's going to be a bit of a rough ride, so to speak, because of all the energies around us. Like I did speak about last week, we've just come out of one full moon eclipse in Virgo. We're going into a new moon or solar eclipse at new moon in Aries on the 29th. So hold on to your seats. We've got 4 planets in retrograde now, including Mercury, which does affect your communication, whether that's verbal or written communication. It affects our wonderful devices that we're so dependent on that govern our communication. And so laptops and phones and stuff like this can be affected. Make sure you back things up and you have all your ducks in a row to the best of your ability. That is difficult to do emotionally and mentally now, so don't judge yourself too harshly if you're not killing it and you feel like you are really having episodes where your energy is waning a little bit. You are not alone. All right, this can be rough energy. We've got solar flares as well that are happening, so all of this can affect communication and it can affect our thoughts. We sometimes don't feel so clear-headed, so try and breathe through it. This too shall pass. And it's happening to bring a lot of energetic changes that are bigger than us. So hold on to your seats, but know that this can bring very positive change for us in a lot of ways and in a lot of aspects of our lives. And you might find there's a lot of change going on the inside, maybe not so much on the outside, but this past energy was very much about reflection, introspection, vivid dreams, daydreaming, all of these things that are going on within us and in our energy body, in our minds, in our emotions, things from the past. And so it can be very tumultuous, and sometimes you might be even keeping that to yourself. That's perfectly fine. Sometimes you feel like you need to speak to somebody. That's perfectly fine. Do what you got to do. Okay, and just remember that communication and interaction can be a little bit strained at times. Okay, I just spotted something that might fall over while I'm busy here. Let's not have that around. Okay, so today we are going to be using the Spirit Animal Oracle. We're using the Psychic Tarot, and we're using Tarot Mucha, which is a very beautiful tarot deck by the artist Mucha, or kind of modeled after his art. And it's a very Art Nouveau kind of a vibe, which is really beautiful. So we're going to see what, if we need to use that deck of cards, what is going to pop up for that. All right, if you're new here, very welcome. What we do on a Monday is we ask what is most important for us to know right now and what kind of energies are coming into our week. If you are an existing client or somebody who comes back every week to look at my readings, I very much appreciate and value you being here. Thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart. All right, hopefully this will bring some much needed advice for all of you. Let's see what Spirit wants to impart today. Okay, I'm going to start with the Animal Oracle, and the reason for this is I feel like there's a lot of animal signs around right now. Okay, you could be seeing a lot of moths, or you could be seeing a lot of spiders, or you could be seeing a lot of a particular type of bird, or just birds in general. Whatever it is, you could be seeing a bear when you're not necessarily seeing a bear, but seeing somebody has a sticker on the back of their car, and then you see one in a wildlife program, and then you see one somewhere else, or you see a video about it. Look out for these things, because I see that Spirit's very much trying to impart information to us through these kinds of signs. They are trying to speak to us, they are trying to guide us, so be cognizant of what's happening around you. All right. Okay, so can I please see, is there any kind of energy that we need to be aware of this week, or the general energy of this week? Koi fish spirit. There is always enough. Okay. With this, I feel like there's somebody who might be wanting to get something done, or they're waiting to hear about something, or waiting to do something, and it feels as if it's not necessarily happening as fast as we would like, or we feel like we're stuck in limbo. And you know, we have been in this energy of having to do all the time and push ourselves forward. And I feel like we're getting to a point now where there's a lot going on from the perspective of spirit, and spirit's kind of moving things in a specific way for us. And with the koi fish spirit, I feel as if this is like go with the flow. Just swim gently. If you feel like you're going in circles, sorry, I don't know why my screen just did that. If you're going in circles, that's perfectly fine. All right, this is a time of waiting for something to come to fruition. I feel like you're at the almost like a pinnacle of an experience, and things are going to improve and they're going to change and shift, but we don't always have control over that, and we are waiting for certain things to take place here. This is what it feels like from the perspective of there is always enough. I feel as if this is a lack mentality that could be driving us to move forward. We feel like we need to be active because we need to either bring in money, or we need to provide in some way or another for ourselves or for somebody else. And I feel like this is a reminder there's always enough. So even if we've had really hard times, we're still here, aren't we? We were provided for in some way or another. And I feel like that is something that we are being kind of reminded of right now, that there's always enough. Don't worry, and you don't need to be pushing forward. I feel like this is go with the flow. You know, the koi fish represents abundance. It represents having enough. So it's really reminding you to be in that mindset and be in the flow, because if we're in an urgent kind of a mindset, we are going to feel like there's not enough, and we're pushing that energy away from us. We're not attracting anything really. The koi fish just knows it's majestic and it will always be looked after, and it just goes with the flow. And it is a very majestic fish with a very it's got a reputation of being associated with wealth and abundance. So it's a kind of a reassuring energy that's coming, that's saying just flow, just go with it, don't worry. And I feel like a lot of us, again, are not always in control of what's happening right now. All right, there's a lot of energetic potential where we feel like we're frustrated or our hands are tied, but Spirit's taking care of things. Okay, what else do we need to know about this week, please? Thank you. Who we got here? Elephant Spirit. Oh, that's beautiful. Learn from the past. Okay, this is what I was talking about earlier, is there may be things happening on the inner planes, emotionally, mentally, memories, all of this kind of thing. And this has come up a lot for individual clients that I've done readings for this past week or so as well, is look to the past, but don't look to it to feel threatened, or to look at all of what you perceived as your failures, or to look at what was wrong, or feel wounded. Look to the past to learn from the past. All right, everything we've done has not been for nothing. Well, there's been a purpose in everything that we've done, every person that we've met, every relationship that we've had, every job that we've had. There's purpose in it. Look to the past and see yourself as you are in a position of power now. The elephant looks to the past, but he's in a position of power. He knows that the past can bring a wealth of information and can help him step forward into the future, making better choices, having more hindsight, more insight from the past experiences that he's had. I'm presuming this is a bull elephant because of his big tusks. Okay. I feel like this this can mean major metamorphosis for people, all right? Spiritually, emotionally, on a couple of levels here, there's a potential for you to change, for you to shift, where the past may have seemed a little bit frightening or a little bit daunting. I feel like it has power over us to some extent. And looking at it from the position of this happened for me, not happened to me, can really be life-changing for you. All right, try to see things from that perspective. Try to see, you know, if I've been hopping from job to job and all of a sudden I've opened my business, maybe those jobs have helped me to get all the skills I need in order to run that business. Or if I've gone through a couple of terrible relationships, at least they've taught me what I do and don't want and what I will and will not tolerate. That's put me in a position of power for the future. Okay, so this is the perspective that Spirit's trying to ask you to get into. All right. What else do we need to know for this coming week, please? Thank you. Lizard Spirit. Dream the world into being. This is beautiful. Okay. Look at this. Okay, I don't know if anyone's going to see what I see here, but the first thing that stood out to me is this that looks like an eye. And it looks like an eye that's looking to the left. It's not an eye, it's something else. I'm not sure what it is. Something that comes off of this plant. It almost looks like it's just a pearl in the background or something, and the plant's hanging over it. But either way, it looks like an eye to me. And this eye is looking to the past. And I feel like we can use past events and emotions and all of this kind of thing from this position of power to dream things into being. Okay, we can use that past energy and say, what do I need to change? I can manifest from here. All right, this dreaming the world into being is dream your world that you want into being, manifest what you want. And instead of seeing these as things that have hurt or harmed us or as weaknesses, these things from the past can show us what the potential is for the future. We can make better choices for our future now, which we would not have made if we didn't go through what we went through, if we didn't toughen up a little bit and we're not in this position of power and strength now. Okay, and maybe one of the things you learned is that there's always enough, but you keep slipping into that. You know, we do repeat cycles and we do repeat mindsets until we actually get to a point where they don't have power over us anymore. And this little lizard seems to be able to fly as well. It's like he's evolving to be able to fly, which is quite incredible. Dream the world into being. Lizards also shed their skin, and I feel like that is a theme, especially with this year that we're in. In Chinese astrology, it's the year of the wooden snake, but the snake represents healing in many different belief systems and cultures, and the snake also sheds its skin just like the lizard does. So we get a chance, and this is something I feel like a lot of people don't believe, is you do sometimes get a second or a third or a fourth or a fifth chance to get something right. Spirit gives us chances, all right? We don't always have to get it right the first time. We don't have to beat ourselves up about not getting it right the first time, whether it's a relationship or something we did wrong at work or we hurt someone's feelings. We will meet other people and we'll also have a chance to maybe apologize to that person about hurting their feelings, and we have the chance to move forward in a new direction with new intentions and do different things. Okay, and that is hugely empowering, and that is the truth of how things work, and that's how healing and growth comes. It doesn't come in a straight line. We go around and around, sometimes having the same circumstances and being given a chance to respond differently under those circumstances, to get a different, more positive result for ourselves, to grow. All right, to rectify things maybe. Anything else from this deck for this coming week, please? Thank you. Piggy. Pig spirit, use your mind wisely. Both of these are 11s, okay? 8 and 3 and 4 and 7. This is about bringing balance, and I feel like this is how they can kind of instruct us or give us some kind of guidance in terms of how to bring balance. These things, not being afraid to look at the past, not being afraid to learn from the past, can empower you. And I love this red color that's coming through, because we're moving into this eclipse energy that's going to be Aries energy, that is empowering and driving, and it's really fire. Okay, and I feel like this is something that we can use to our advantage. Use your mind wisely. Watch out for self-defeating kind of energies, or saying you didn't handle that well, or you should have done that differently. Yes, maybe you should have. Maybe you could have handled it better. So the next time something like that comes up, do that. The power is with you to change that. The power is with you to morph and to shed that old skin and have different results. All right, let's just see if there's anything else from this deck of cards. I feel like there might be another one. Anything else from this deck of cards, please, for the week ahead? Maybe not. Okay, they are done. Card from the bottom of the deck we've had a few times. I'm just going to show you quickly. Set healthy boundaries. Maybe that's one of the lessons and one of the things you need to take care of. Maybe that's what you didn't do before. Maybe that's why there was lack in your life. Maybe you were too good for your own good. All right, let's see what the others have to say. All right, this is the Psychic Tarot that we're going to be using now, John Holland. give it one shuffle quick. All right, is there anything that goes with this koi fish spirit, please? I'm just trying to see if they want to line the energies up. Otherwise, we will just ask what we need to know this week. There's one. Spiritual union. Okay, so for some of you, I think this is relationship based. I feel like this does affect relationships. It might be even business relationships. Okay, maybe you are starting a business or something along these lines. But here we have spiritual union. This is someone that you'll have a strong affinity with. Okay, you might even just be a kind of connecting more to spirit, or maybe there's somebody in spirit that comes through in your dreams. And even the colors here are kind of matching up. Koi fish spirit, there's always enough. What does that mean to you? I feel like some of you are going through maybe a lack kind of energy where you feel like there is not going to be love in your life, or you feel like you need to compete for somebody's energy or their attention, or you need to push some of the competition out of the way. If that is something that's happening for you, I feel as if this phrase here that says there is always enough means that you shouldn't be chasing after something, because I feel like there might be a better connection for you, or if this connection is meant for you, it's going to come of its own accord. It's not going to be something you have to force. Go with the flow. All right? And again, I feel people are waiting for something. What goes with elephant spirit, please? Oh, they've got two. It's like someone's waiting for something, some information to come through, somebody to respond, something along these lines. Just take it easy. Go with the flow. All right? Allow yourself to be with your inner thoughts for the meantime. Fertility. This is beautiful. This is like the Empress in the Tarot, where she has abundance around her. She's never concerned. Once again, there's always enough. There's this fertility. Learn from the past. Again, I'm getting the same feeling. It's like, especially from your heart center, she's showing the heart center there, the heart chakra. This is saying learn from the past, from anything that has hurt your heart. Okay, relationships are definitely coming up here. They don't always have to be romantic relationships. You could have regrets around a family member, a sibling, anybody, a friend from school, however this pertains to you. I feel like there's the ability for healing here, for synergy, for you to find something that is very much more aligned with you. And maybe you can even heal that relationship to bring it more in alignment. Balance. Please note, 11, 11, 11. Maybe all of you, not all of you, maybe some of you are even seeing 11, 11 somewhere all the time. Okay, this is the Magician. And this is exactly what he's saying here. Dream the world into being. Use your mind wisely. This is about manifestation. This is about visualization. The Magician has all the tools from the tarot that he needs. He's got all four suits here, the wands, the pentacles, the cups, and the swords. He has all the tools he needs to bring whatever he wants into existence. And the past provides those tools to us. So don't be afraid to look at the past so that you can design your future the way that you want it. Okay, this is exactly what it is. This 11 is a show of balance. Dream the world into being. Use your mind wisely so that you can manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest. But the past will give you some insight in how to do that and what you do and don't want. Anything that goes with pig spirit, please? Here it comes. Love begins. Okay. If you can do this, I feel as if this is going to bring so much love into your life. And love doesn't just have to be romantic love either. All right, here's a number 1. Coming from this 11, a number 1 is new beginnings and fresh starts. And this is like an Ace of Cups energy, where your cup runneth over. This is about emotional fulfillment, joy, abundance, potentials. All right, again, use your mind wisely. Dream things into being. Don't let your negative thoughts be the predominant thoughts in your mind. This is what using your mind wisely is. Okay, don't allow negativity to creep in. If you get a negative thought saying, oh well, all that's happened is my past has been so terrible, it's happened to me, look at what happened for you. Look at what you can take from that are valuable lessons that you could even share with others, that could empower others, that you can impart to your children one day. You can prevent somebody from going through something negative just because you did it. All right, and that can be hugely helpful and hugely empowering. And look how the green colors are coming in now. There can be major heart healing here, and major heart healing brings balance. It opens our hearts to new beginnings with love, and that doesn't have to be just romantic love. It can be forgiveness. It can be reunion and reconciliation between family members or old friends or whatever the case is. Someone that maybe you've been estranged from. I do feel for some of you this is going to be a brand new beginning though. Maybe a partner that you're going to meet that is going to be unlike anybody you've ever dated. And maybe that's exactly what you need. If you don't like the friends that you've had in the past or the lovers that you've had in the past, then it's time to change that. It's time to manifest something different for yourself, because here's the magician. He is chief manifester. He directs that energy. Miracles can happen here. Okay, anything else from the Psychic Tarot? Anything else from Psychic Tarot, please? Otherwise, I'm just going to take the bottom of the deck, which I have not yet looked at. Yep, I think they're done. And the bottom of the deck is disruption. I feel like this disruption is from the past as well. I feel like this is the stuff that we are allowing to hold ourselves back, that fragment our energy. And I feel like if we're not mindful and we're not aware of what's going on around us, especially right now with this energy, don't force things, don't try to push forward. I feel as if this is just going to interfere with things more. And if there is disruption and people are being negative, then rather just remove yourself from that space. It could be the energy that's around us right now that can make them a bit negative. So don't just write someone off because they're having one bad day because of stuff happening in their lives. But if there's a repetitive, disruptive pattern in your life, I feel like this is what you need to get rid of. This is where you have to be not afraid to move forward and away from things, because there's all of this new energy that can come in, that can propel us forward. I honestly do believe that all of these astrological events are exactly that. Okay, let's pull a tarot card from Tarot Mucha. Give it one shuffle. May I please see if there's any advice for each of these? Otherwise, whatever Spirit wants to give us. The spiritual union. What advice is there, or what does Spirit want to tell us? Wow. 10 of Cups. Sorry, 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is about realizing your dreams in the physical 3D. It's about being content and things coming full circle in your physical 3D, which I feel like is completely and utterly possible here. All right, it's about spending a lot of time at home, maybe running a business from home, but it's something that where you are planting your seeds for the future and where you can create a legacy for yourself. All right, and this is the Strength card. So the Strength card is talking about our strength, our will, and bringing certain things into being, putting that energy in when there are things that we are struggling with that we need to overcome. And this particularly talks about things from the past. Okay, this is something from the past that has great influence over us, and we need to be willing to stand up and push forward and not be overcome by this. All right, it's about having that strength and willpower to overcome things from the past that had power over us before, and now deciding that this is no longer allowed. They're no longer allowed to have power over us. Okay. You can overcome these obstacles. That is the other message that the Strength card certainly brings us. And this 10 of Pentacles is wonderful. This is showing a lot of potential happiness. that we maybe don't feel like we deserve. Maybe that's where this lack is coming from. There's always enough. There's always potential for more. Maybe we've allowed those thoughts to creep in that convince us otherwise, that we're not deserving of it, or there are not enough people in the world for me to find the right partner or a good friend. Or maybe you've been in an abusive situation where someone's convinced you of that and said, you're never going to amount to anything, you're so stupid, you're this and that and the next thing. You know, if we hear things enough times, we will believe them. And we can use that to our own advantage as well, because if you tell yourself positive reinforcing things enough times, you will believe them. That's one of the tricks of manifestation, to repeat things over and over. Like when you're trying to bring money into your life, you say, I'm so happy and grateful that money comes to me in abundance from many different sources on a continuous basis. And you repeat this to yourself, or you repeat a mantra or something. That repetition reinforces that thought. That repetition can reprogram your mind and your brain and your body and your whole belief system around certain things. So don't let anybody or anything from the past have that kind of power over you. You do have this fertility, you do have this potential for balance to come into your life, and you do have this potential for wonderful new beginnings that can be emotionally fulfilling for you as well. Okay, let's see if there's anything that goes with this fertility, please. Anything else that goes with the fertility? Okay, we had fertility and learn from the past. And let's see what else we got. Oh, okay, we've got the Page of Wands and we've got the Four of Swords. This is certainly telling me that we are in this position where we need to be reflective. Okay, this is also saying you need to take a break. You need to rest, because this is someone who's inundated with a lot of information, a lot of paperwork, something along these lines. And there is this potential for messages and information to come in. But I don't feel like we necessarily have to do anything about it right now. Okay, this is the kind of energy that wants to drive forward, that wants to create. But there is a message here for some of you that you need to have a bit of a rest and be in that reflective state. So I feel like meditation is very important for us right now, to get ourselves into the right state, to be attracting the right kind of things, to keep our energy balanced. Balance is very important here. And I feel like these two energies can be a little bit contradictory to each other to some degree. Or this kind of energy where it's this fiery energy of it's almost like a Sagittarius fiery energy. This can cause us to have burnout. So there's nothing wrong with having wonderful ideas and being really eager and ambitious about them. And here it says again, here's this potential for fertility, but have a time of reflection so that you can do things differently than what you have in the past. And maybe you just need this bit of rest before further progress can be made. Okay, but I feel like you can reach your goals. You can get to a certain place where you want to be that maybe you thought you couldn't be before, because this is huge potential here, but it's just the beginning of it. Okay, you see how dry and barren this land is. He's got an idea of how to push this energy forward, push his energy forward and have these new beginnings. He's got this branch, or this wand in this case, that is full of little sprouts. There's potential here. He can go and plant that somewhere, all right? And this is very fiery, ambitious kind of energy, but try to just balance those. You could be very excited about a new venture or a new relationship or something along those lines, but physically and emotionally, you do need that little bit of quiet time and that rest to make the right decisions. Do you see how he also looks to the past? He's looking at those things and saying, how can I change this? How can I respond differently and maybe not react, so that I get a different result to all of these things that I've had in the past that I didn't like? Okay. What goes with balance, please? Ooh, we're getting two at a time. Okay. Okay. With this was dream the world into being. All right, so I feel like our biggest enemies right now are our memories and our thoughts. We've got the devil energy coming up, which often shows that our judgment is clouded. It might show that you're also struggling with something that might be a type of an addiction, whether that's alcohol, food, a situation or scenario, whatever it is, we need to bring this balance back. And we don't always see that we have this obstacle. Okay, the obstacle might even be negative thinking. Whatever it is here, this is asking you to bring yourself back into this balance. Here we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess assists us when we are at a crossroads in our lives, when we're making important decisions. This is saying you have the potential to be in this place where you can shed the skin, like we mentioned earlier, dream the world into being. Again, what will you and will you not tolerate? What do you want and don't you want? What of these energies don't you want in your life anymore? These negative energies, this perpetual negative cycle that we feel like we're having to live through all our lives. And maybe we've kind of made peace with and said, oh, well, I'm an unlucky person, or I've had a hard time. There's no chance for me to move into something better that I feel like I deserve. I don't deserve any better. Don't let those things creep in. Don't let anybody that is a person like this disruption card, don't let this disruptive energy take control in your life anymore. Okay, it's time to get yourself out of this cycle. So again, this card as an advice card says don't do anything rash. Don't make any major decisions. Take things step by step. Work with caution. Move forward in a balanced way. Okay, because you don't want to do things you regret or get too fired up by something where your energy is misdirected because you don't have all the facts, perhaps. Okay, and this is really saying balance yourself. This is a time to ask Spirit for direction. She is very connected to Spirit. She is very balanced. She withdraws her energy as well. Just like I was talking about earlier, where I said, keep to yourself if that's what you need to do. This is a time for introspection, a time for us to sit quietly while we plan and reflect. And that's exactly what she's about. And she always makes the best decisions. And she says Spirit will come in and help you to make the best decisions. All right, so these are two pretty opposite energies. And she's calm, she's detached. Sometimes she detaches herself from other people as well so that she can keep things in perspective. So she doesn't have emotional entanglements that are going to get in the way of a good decision. All right, but this shows that Spirit definitely has a part to play in supporting you and helping you come to the right conclusions. All right, final card. Just a reminder, use your mind wisely. New beginnings and fresh start, and love begins. Maybe this is even self-love that you need. This seems to be the case here. Okay, and self-love brings more love. The Nine of Cups. That is wonderful. Okay, the Nine of Cups is about being in a place where you are emotionally happy, where you feel like you have arrived in certain ways. Okay, and this can be wonderful. It really is the satisfaction and feeling like I've reached the place where I have some happiness and contentment. I feel fulfilled. I feel as if my cup is full, not empty. And you see how abundant she is here. So this is really lovely energy. It's also number 9 again, which shows that we are reaching the end of a situation or the pinnacle of an experience. I'm going to end off with just putting the cards from the bottom of the deck here. So we had the Armadillo Spirit, set healthy boundaries. We had the Disruption, which I feel like you really just need to watch out for this energy. This is what cages you in. So if you have a disruptive energy or person in your life, maybe that's what you need to withdraw from right now. So you can get into that High Priestess energy and be listening to Spirit, not what's going on outside and around you. And last but not least, we have the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups talks about walking away from something where we realize this has gone as far as it can go. It's time to move on. Okay, even if there are a lot of emotional components, things that we've been through that have been difficult for us, or we have a strong attachment to a person or a thing, it's saying move forward. Just because you can't see what's on that path doesn't mean it's bad. It could be really wonderful things, and you're encouraged to move away from stagnation in your life, away from the devil energy, away from the negativity, away from believing that you cannot achieve things, you cannot manifest things. Times are changing, and you're going to be moving into a new chapter in your life. Okay, spirit supports you here as well, because the number 8 is also very much associated with spirit. It's the infinity sign, and I feel like this is maybe even showing that this upcoming eclipse is very significant. Okay, I wish you all a beautiful week ahead, and I will chat to you again soon. Bye for now.